All right, so real quick, let me walk you through getting set up here. I'll show you how to do all this firsthand here, but for the summary, we're going to install Anaconda, which is a Python environment made for scientific computing and data science and machine learning. Once we have that set up, we'll install a package called pi.plus, which we'll use later on in the course for visualizing decision trees, and we'll also install Tensorflow, which we're going to use to build neural networks and real AI and deep learning later on in the course. We'll also download the course materials from my website here, and open up one of the notebooks from that materials and see if it works. So let's dive in. So let's start by getting Anaconda installed. Anaconda is a Python development environment specifically made for data science and machine learning. So if you already have an existing Python environment, probably isn't gonna cut it because it doesn't have all the packages that we need. The good thing about Anaconda is that it does. And Thought Canopy is another option if you have that installed already. But if you do need it, go ahead to Anaconda.com here and find the big friendly download button. And we'll hit download again. And we want to select Mac OS because we're on a Mac. And we want the Python 3 version. This course is written for Python 3, 3 point whatever it is, doesn't matter. And I like graphical installers, so we'll go ahead and download that one. And we'll come back when that's done. All right, that is completed. Let's go ahead and open that installer up. There it is. So we'll just double click it to launch it. And we'll hit continue. Continue. Read the license agreement. Continue. And agree. All right, we'll just go through the defaults here. We'll install for me only. And you do need quite a bit of disk space for this, guys. 2.13 gigabytes to start, and we're going to install more stuff on top of it as well, so make sure you have plenty of room for this. Install. And this will take a while. There's a lot for it to install, so we'll come back when it's done. All right, just about done here. We'll hit continue here to finish things up. And close. And yeah, we're done with the installer. We can discard that. So now let's open up a new terminal. And if you had one open already, you're going to need to close that and reopen it in order to pick up the new environment variables that Anaconda installed. So once you're sure that you have a fresh terminal open here, we can just type in conda install pi.plus, just like that. And that will install the pi.plus package that we're going to need later in the course in order to visualize decision trees. So just let it go off and do its thing here for a bit. Y to continue. All right. The other thing we need is TensorFlow, and that's just as easy to install. Conda install TensorFlow, just like that. And this is a package that we need to make deep neural networks, which is going to be a lot of fun later in the course. This will be a larger environment. Y to proceed. And off that goes. Cool. So we have Anaconda completely set up for the entire course at this point. That was pretty easy. Next thing we need to do is get the course materials, so let's go back to our browser and go to https://www.sundog-education.com/machine-learning, just like that. Pay attention to capitalization, spelling, where the dashes are, it all matters. You should see a page that looks like this, and you'll see a big friendly link here for the course materials. Go ahead and click on that to download it. And also here you'll see a link to the course slides if you want a copy of that, and a link to our Facebook group. That's a place where students can collaborate with each other. It's not a place for Q&A with me. I'm actually not on Facebook myself. And there's also some instructions here if you want to follow along with the installation in a written form. And there's a couple of optional things here. You can join our mailing list if you want to stay up to date. And there's also a book version of the course if you're interested, but definitely not required. All right, so now that the course materials have downloaded, let's go ahead and open that when done. Should be just doing a quick virus scan right now. All right, looks like our course materials are there, and it already decompressed it for us as well. That's cool. So let's go back to our terminal here and see if we can actually use these materials. Now we need to know where they are. So in order to actually launch these notebook files that are inside the course materials, we need to be able to navigate to them first. So we're in our home directory right now. Let's cd into downloads. And that should be where the ML course directory lives. There it is. All right, so if you want to move that someplace else, you can. It just matters that you know how to get to this place, okay? Because what's in here is a bunch of what we call Jupyter Notebook files. These are interactive ways of actually running and experimenting with Python code that will allow us to play around with all the algorithms in this course. Now, in order to launch these, we need to first navigate into this directory. So I need to use the cd command to navigate into where this is. So again, I'm under users Frank downloads ML course. For you, that will be in your own users directory, most likely. And you just need to be able to cd into that. So the first step to actually launching these things is to cd into the directory that I downloaded these into. I'm just doing this for the sake of illustration here. And for you, you could cd to wherever you save that to. Once you're in there, you're going to type in the following. Jupyter Notebook. Just like that. Jupyter is spelled funny, make sure you get that right. And what that will do is launch Jupyter Notebook within this folder. That way all the correct script files will show up, and all the data that they need will be in the right place as well. And you can see here a listing of all the notebook files that come with the course. So let's see if it actually works. Let's go to outliers.ipynb. That's a simple one. So whenever I'm in a lecture in this course and I say open up, outliers.ipynb or whatever it is, this is what you want to do, guys. This is important. Write this down, okay? I'm not going to go over this very many times again in the future. You need to, again, open up a terminal, cd to where you install the materials, type in Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter is spelled funny, and from there, select the script that you want to open. So let's open up Outliers and see if it works. It does, cool. So you should be seeing a screen like this. And what's cool is that you can actually run this code inline here and actually modify it and play with it and mess around with it. It's not just a static web page. So for example, I can click in this block of Python code here and hit this run button, and it will go ahead and actually execute that code and generate this graph automatically based on that execution. So how cool is that? If you're curious what's going on here, we're basically creating a distribution of people's incomes, and then we're throwing in Jeff Bezos as a billionaire at the end to show the effect of an outlier on a data distribution. And throughout the rest of this exercise, we go through and find ways of identifying outliers such as Jeff Bezos, rejecting them from the data set, which allows us to get more meaningful interpretation of the data for everybody else. But we'll talk about that more in the future. It's fun stuff. For now, though, you should be seeing a working Jupyter Notebook here. If you do, then great, things are set up properly. If not, go back, double check things. Could be a conflict with another Python environment that you might have installed, so that might be something you have to track down, but hopefully things are working and we can move on. Hey, Frank Kane here from the Sundog Education Course Recording Studio. Now, depending on what platform you're watching this course on, you might be prompted for a review of it right after this lecture or maybe the next one. And I hope you're enjoying it so far, but if you need more time to really form an opinion, there should be a little Ask Me Later button on there too. So if you're not sure about this course yet and you want to give it some more time, feel free to hit that, and they'll prompt you for a review later on in the course where you'll have more of it under your belt to form an opinion with. Really important to me that you leave an honest and well-informed review of this course, because reviews are really critical to instructors like me who make their livelihood off of this stuff. Anyhow, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, and let's just keep on going.